Hey, let's dive right into what's been the biggest story coming out of these Cowboys OTAs, Micah Parsons and his ongoing contract saga. If you've been following, you know Micah has been notably absent from these organized team activities. It's not a surprise anymore. He's skipping the non-mandatory sessions, basically waiting on that new contract. Now, it seems like Micah only shows up when Brian Schottenheimer really wants him there for specific team-related stuff. Outside of that, he's been MIA. Honestly, it's frustrating. If that deal was done already, you'd think he'd be on the field more consistently, right? We've seen players like Myles Garrett handle these situations differently, showing up more even without a contract, but Micah's approach feels different. I get it, though. Micah's holding out for a record-setting contract, and everyone involved probably already knows what the number is. The real question is why drag this out so long? It's almost like the Cowboys keep doing the same dance, hoping maybe the player or agent will blink first. This deal could be done tomorrow, but here we are in late May still talking about it. To keep things interesting, there's a pool going on right now where you can guess the exact date Micah signs or gets traded. You can check it out at chatports.com/Micah and even enter with a small $5 Venmo. It's a bit crazy that we still have to do this, but it shows just how much tension there is around this contract. What do you think? Will Micah Parsons get his contract done before training camp? Vote Y for yes or N for no. I'm curious if you're feeling optimistic or expecting more delays. Before we move on, I want to hear your take on Micah's absence so far. Is this a smart holdout move, or is it hurting the team's chemistry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. All right, now that we've tackled the big Micah update, let's shift gears and talk about some positive news on the offensive line, starting with Tyler Guyton. All right, moving on from the Micah drama, let's talk about some good vibes on the offensive line front. Tyler Guyton has been quietly making waves during OTAs and minicamps. If you don't know much about him, Guyton was a third-round pick this year, and honestly, he's been impressing coaches and teammates alike. Reports say he's been holding his own in drills against some of the Cowboys' top defensive players. That's huge, especially considering how critical the offensive line is to Dallas's success this season. Remember, protecting the quarterback and creating running lanes are priorities, and Tyler is showing he might be able to deliver on both fronts. What's interesting is how quickly he's adapting to the pro game. The leap from college to the NFL is huge, and many rookies struggle in that transition, but Guyton seems to have the work ethic and physical tools to speed up that process. We might be looking at a potential starter or key rotational player sooner than expected. Now, the big question is how he fits into the existing lineup. Will Tyler push for a starting spot right away, or is this more about depth and future development? Personally, I think the Cowboys are smart to be patient but optimistic. Having a young guy like Guyton step up could take some pressure off the veterans and add valuable competition. I want to know what you think. Do you see Tyler Guyton as an immediate impact player or more of a future piece? Vote below. Impact now or future potential? And why? Share your thoughts in the comments. Also, do you think this boost on the offensive line can change how the Cowboys attack this season? Let me know. Okay, with that promising update out of the way, let's get into some other Cowboys news that's been buzzing around. The latest rumors about wide receiver targets. All right, now that we've talked about the offensive line, let's switch gears to wide receiver rumors. The Cowboys have been linked to several potential trade targets this offseason, and it's got fans buzzing. Names like George Pickens, DJ Moore, and Rashad Bateman keep popping up as possible additions. Each one brings something different to the table, and the Cowboys clearly want to improve that WR2 spot behind CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens is known for his explosive plays and contested catches. If Dallas lands him, it could add a serious deep threat to the offense. On the other hand, DJ Moore offers a combination of route running and reliability, which fits Brian Schottenheimer's system well. Rashad Bateman, meanwhile, is still developing, but has shown flashes that could make him a valuable piece in the near future. The question is, which type of receiver fits the Cowboys' needs best? Are you more excited about a high-upside deep threat like Pickens, or would you prefer a steady, reliable option like Moore? Or maybe you're all in on a developmental project like Bateman. Here's a quick poll for you. Who should the Cowboys target at WR2? Pickens, Moore, or Bateman? Cast your vote and tell me why in the comments. Another angle to consider is how these receivers would mesh with the current offense and Dak Prescott. Chemistry is key, and sometimes a player with solid hands and good timing is more valuable than a flashy deep threat. So, what's your take? Would bringing in one of these receivers push the Cowboys over the top this season? Or should Dallas focus on building through the draft and development instead? Stay tuned, because next up, we'll dive into the running back situation and what the Cowboys might be planning there. All right, moving on from receivers, let's talk about the running back situation. The Cowboys' backfield has been a hot topic, especially with Ezekiel Elliott now in a different uniform. So, what's Dallas planning next? There's been speculation about potential trades and free agent signings to fill the gap. One name that keeps coming up is Tony Pollard. He's already proven himself as a dynamic player who can do it all: run, catch, and block. The big question is whether Dallas will build the offense around him or look to bring in a complementary back. Another possibility is that the Cowboys might target a younger, less proven running back through the draft or free agency. They could be looking for someone with fresh legs and upside, a player who can grow within the system. It's a tricky balance because running backs tend to have shorter careers, and Dallas needs a stable option to keep their offense balanced. The Cowboys might also consider using multiple backs to keep defenses guessing. This approach could help avoid putting too much wear and tear on a single player while maximizing different skill sets. If that's the case, a solid committee could be the move. Here's something to think about. How important do you think the running back position is for Dallas's overall success this season? Should they invest heavily in a star back, or is it smarter to focus on other positions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Tony Pollard alone can carry the load? Or is it time for Dallas to shake things up with new talent? Would you prefer a veteran presence or a rookie to develop over time? In the next chapter, we'll explore the defense and what moves the Cowboys might make to shore up that side of the ball. Stay with me because there's a lot more to cover. Now, let's shift our focus to the defense. After last season's ups and downs, the Cowboys are eager to make improvements on this side of the ball. Defensive upgrades could be the key to turning close games into wins. One big question is how Dallas will approach the linebacker group, especially after the Micah Parsons contract saga. Parsons is a cornerstone of the defense, and locking him in long-term was crucial. But beyond Parsons, the Cowboys need depth and consistency at linebacker and across the defensive line. Free agency could bring some valuable additions, and the draft might help fill those holes with young talent ready to contribute. Defensive backs are also on the radar. The secondary showed flashes but lacked consistency, so expect the Cowboys to explore options to tighten that up. Coaching will play a big role, too. Brian Schottenheimer and the defensive staff have their work cut out for them, but a motivated group can make a real difference. If they can get players healthy and aligned, this defense could be tougher to score on. I want to ask you, which defensive area do you think Dallas should focus on the most? Is it the pass rush, the linebackers, or the secondary? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And here's a poll for you. If you could add one defensive player this offseason, would you prioritize a defensive end to pressure the quarterback, a linebacker for coverage and run support, or a cornerback to lock down receivers? Cast your vote. Wrapping up, the Cowboys' offseason moves on defense will be just as critical as their offensive decisions. It's all about building, balance, and depth. Thanks for sticking with me through this deep dive. What move do you think will have the biggest impact this offseason? Share your thoughts. I'm curious.